everyday life. For over 30 years, Kakra has walked with God, uncovering truths that make the Bible come alive. Now, in his signature, easy-to-understand style, he brings you a verse-by-verse commentary on Colossians. Simple, practical, and anointed. In this book, Colossians Explained, you will discover that the Bible was written for everyday people, fishermen, carpenters, and seekers. This commentary unlocks timeless wisdom, transforming faith into daily living. So, if you've ever struggled to understand your Bible, now you can. Get your copy today. You can order your copy of Colossians Explained through the following means. Post or type the word Colossians in the comments section or send us a DM. Order via WhatsApp on +233 55 700 9010. That's +233 55 700 9010. Call or text us on +233 24 921 7272. That's +233 24 921 7272. You can also order via our website at www.kakrabaden.org or send us an email on info@kakrabaden.org to get yours today. Colossians Explained. Simple, practical, and anointed. Get yours today. For continuous access to life-transforming audio teachings by Kakra, subscribe to Kakra today on Patreon. Grow consistently and stay rooted in the Word. Join now at www.patreon.com/Kakra. Have you ever opened your Bible and struggled to understand what it really means? Have many parts felt out of reach? Which things have indeed a shoe of wisdom in will worship? Colossians 2:23. What does that even mean? And how does it apply to my everyday life? For over 30 years, Kakra has walked with God, uncovering truths that make the Bible come alive. Now, in his signature, easy-to-understand style, he brings you a verse-by-verse commentary on Colossians. Simple, practical, and anointed. In this book, Colossians Explained, you will discover that the Bible was written for everyday people, fishermen, carpenters, and seekers. This commentary unlocks timeless wisdom, transforming faith into daily living. So, if you've ever struggled to understand your Bible, now you can. Get your copy today. You can order your copy of Colossians Explained through the following means. Post or type the word Colossians in the comments section or send us a DM. Order via WhatsApp on +233 55 700 9010. That's +233 55 700 9010. Call or text us on +233 24 921 7272. That's +233 24 921 7272. You can also order via our website at www.kakrabaden.org or send us an email on info@kakrabaden.org to get yours today. Colossians Explained. Simple, practical, and anointed. Get yours today.
Hi, Coach. Can you hear me?
Hi, Prophet. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm waiting for Priscilla to show up somewhere. I don't know where she's gone. I hope she shows up. And then we can get started. We can get talking. Anyway, let's start. You're welcome, Coach.
Thank you, Prophet.
Today we're going to discuss soccer. You know, for me, I'm a soccer fan. I watch soccer. And I know my team is not your team. My team is Arsenal. Your team is, I think, Man City or so, something like that.
No, I support Chelsea.
Chelsea is your team. Okay, that's nice. Anyway, so today we're just going to talk about a little bit about soccer. And of course, even as we are talking about soccer, there will be gospel things that will also be interwoven with this chat. I want us to start. I'm having you here on my Facebook Live. I just want you to introduce yourself, who you are, what you do when it comes to soccer, and then we'll continue from there.
Okay, thank you, Prophet. It's a privilege to be on your show. So my name is Frani Jr. My dad was the former national team coach of Ghana. I'm the chairman of the board of trustees for a charity called Coach Hene Memorial Foundation. But Coach Hene Sports Club has come out of the charity. Currently, I can confidently say that by the grace of God, we are the biggest in the northwest of England.
You are the biggest.
Yes.
You are the biggest what?
Non-traditional academy in terms of grassroots football.
Okay.
Yeah. So
congrats.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I have 4 children. I work in the construction industry. That's my full-time job. I'm a regional logistics manager for a company called Bowman in Kirkland. It's one of the biggest construction companies in the UK.
Okay.
And football is part-time for me. 3 of my children play for Manchester City Academy. So yeah, I think that's way of introduction. That's what I can say about myself.
I see. I mean, interesting. The last time that I was in the UK, you took me to the academy, and the Man City Academy. That was very. It was a great learning experience for me. I saw all the kids that they were training. I saw the different pitches. I saw the match that Man City was having with Chelsea. And I was amazed that there were about 6 games going on at the same time. And it was for different ages. And in the evening, Chelsea was going to play Man City. But what surprised me was the whole organization, that during the day, there's a whole tournament going on between Chelsea, City, different ages. And I saw your kids, particularly Hans. I think he scored 3 goals or so whilst we were there watching the Chelsea game. In the evening, remember, we went to the game itself in the evening, and it was fantastic. That was the real game between City and Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And my first time at Etihad, and it was also a very wonderful experience. But it's amazing that we started the day in the morning, and by the time we left the stadium, it was late in the night. Virtually, it took the whole day.
Yeah.
From watching the various matches, going to the was it a museum or some place that we went, a reception center.
Yeah.
I saw so many things, and after went to the game itself, I mean, it was pretty amazing. And you have been able to get 3 of your kids to be in the Man City Academy. So that's what you do. You groom players, and then you supply them to other clubs. Is that right?
Yes. So I'll give you a bit of a background. I'll say it's just grace. God has given us the grace to do what we're doing, but also a lot of work has gone into it. So during the COVID pandemic, to be fair, before the COVID pandemic, my wife used to put me under a bit of pressure to take the boys for football. But like I said, I have 4 boys. I thought I was busy because I'm a shepherd in church. So I'm a member of the Lighthouse Church as well. So I'm a shepherd in church. Then I have work. Then I have family. I thought it was too much. I took my eldest to one of the sessions, and I was like, this is going to be difficult. I don't think I can do it. So COVID came, and obviously it was a lockdown, so we couldn't do anything. So after prayers with Bishop on Flow, we'll go to the garden and do some kickabout. And then I realized that my third one, I saw he was 4 years then, but I saw he had something special because, you know, growing up, I ate, I drank, I slept football. So I know a bit about football. So as soon as I saw him, I said to my wife that, wow, this boy has got something. So I started taking pictures and videos. Then prior to the lockdown, I think a day before the lockdown, one of my friends rang me and said his son had been invited to come for a trial at City. So he didn't know a lot about football, so he wanted me to go with him. So he sent me the letter. And then lockdown came. So obviously that didn't happen. So one morning after prayers, you know, something dropped in my spirit that pick that letter and then text somebody about your children. It had about 6 names on the letter. And then the one in the middle, who is the guy now He's the guy I started this club with. I don't know why I chose him, but I selected him and I started sending messages saying that I have some kids. I think they have something. I told him about my football heritage, my football background, the fact that my father was a former national team coach of Ghana and all that. I don't think he believed it. Anyway, he eventually came back to me and said, can you take pictures and videos of them? So I started taking pictures and videos for a very long time. That was in April 2020. Then eventually, I think the lockdown, 6 or more people were allowed to come out together around June. So on the 28th of June precisely, he asked me if we can meet on a public park so that he can have a look at them. I took my 4 boys. When there, he saw them and said the third one really had something. He didn't think the first 2, because obviously Michael, who was my last one, he was only 1 year. So he didn't really consider them. But he said the first 2 they were not at the level at Man City or top academies. So we started, you know, I think after that, after the session, we had an hour session. The boys enjoyed it, he enjoyed it. And then the boys asked him if they could do it the following Sunday. He was a bit skeptical and said he was busy and he couldn't do it. But eventually he agreed to do it. And the boys asked whether they can bring some of their friends, and then he agreed to it. So we called a few people, you know, to join him. And then what started with my 4 boys, now we have 953 members. 1,500 people have come through the club. It's been amazing, you know. We started, we didn't have any money. Yeah.
You have 953 people.
Registered kids here. But in terms of those that have gone through our club, I'll say 1,500. Because don't forget, when they sign for the academies, they can't stay with us, they can't play with us. They can still come for training, they can still come for our programs, but they can't play for us anymore. So yeah, it's been a journey, yeah. So in terms of that, like my children, like I said, initially, the Man City coach said only one of them was good enough. Yeah, but we believed in the process, you know. We started working hard. We started working on them. And now 3 of them are Man City. So currently about 75 boys, and we're still counting because the season hasn't ended yet. 75 boys have signed for professional academies. And we are not talking about small academies. We're talking about Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Everton. We have 1 boy currently at Tottenham. So yeah, it's been a journey.
I mean, so your is it your club? Your club has supplied Man City, Everton, top clubs with players.
Yeah. So
Young players.
in the past 4 years, Coach Hene Sports Club have given Man City 25 players. It's never happened in their history. Yeah.
Really?
Last year, out of the 20 to 22 boys that they signed, 8 of them were from our club. They profiled 60,000 kids within 2 years, and out of the 60,000, they signed 22. The 22, I think only 10 or 12 were from Manchester, and 8 of them were from us. So, you know, it's been an amazing journey. United, I think we've given them about 12 to 13 players. Liverpool, we've given them about 8. 3 boys are going to sign next week, so eventually it's going to be about 11. So I'm sure by the end of the season we'll have about 80 boys from our club, you know, which is unprecedented.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about 60,000, I mean, that's a lot of people. 60,000.
So that's what they do. I mean, Robert, surprisingly, you know, Ghana, we have the talent. in Africa, we have the natural talent, we have the raw talent, but I don't think we see how big football is. Football is a big business in the UK, and they attach a lot of importance to it. I know we see our children as kids, but these clubs, it's unfortunate, but they see the children as assets. Everyone has a price tag, and be able to differentiate between the ones that are going to make it and the ones that are not going to make it. I think 70-80% of the time they get it right. If everything goes according to plan. So it's a big business here. Hence the reason why you saw what you saw here. When you come, people attach a lot of importance. In Ghana, sorry to say, a lot of the boys that make it or the footballers that make it are people from poor backgrounds. In the UK, it's really capital intensive. So if you want to make it, you have to put in the effort. You have to spend money. It needs time. Like I said to you, initially I thought I didn't have time. Now that is our whole life. For the past 6 weeks, I think I've traveled about 4 or 5 times. I've been to France, I've been to Italy, I've been to Belgium, I've been to Portugal. So there's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of things going into it.
And that's because you travel with the kids as they're going to play in other places.
Yes. So when they travel, they need encouragement. You have to go with them. And especially if your boy is a top boy, that means they put him on a lot of tours. And unfortunately, or maybe for me, I see it's been a journey. It's been exciting. You go to different places, different cultures, but it's a lot of discipline as well. The boys have to be disciplined. I really admire my children a lot because I don't think from the time we started coaching in 2020, I don't think they've been allowed to be children. They've not been allowed to be kids because they have a routine structure: when to sleep, when to eat, what to eat, when to move, the discipline. Like as I'm speaking to you now, one of them has just left for training, and he has a match. He played on Tuesday, he played on Saturday, trained on Sunday, then played on Tuesday, trained on Thursday. He's training today, he's playing tomorrow. So it's a lot of work.
Really? So when it comes to, you spoke about food. So when it comes to food, can you just eat anything, even as a child?
No, you can't. So,
Really?
yeah, because I'm lucky to have, my wife is a nutritionist, so that has really helped. But to be fair to the big clubs like Man City, Man United, they guide you on nutrition as well. I think they really take it serious. So they have the pre-academy. The pre-academy is when you're at 6, 7, 8. When you get to 8, the year you turn 9, you sign your first professional contract. So you go to the foundation phase. And then when you get to 12, you go to the youth foundation phase. That is where I would say the money and everything is. That's where things get serious, So for a club like Man City and Man United, and I think Liverpool are starting, Everton are going to start as well. Normally what they do is that some of the boys, the top boys, are put on a full-time program where they are put in a private school. They are given a structure in terms of what they eat. They are fed at the academies. So they give you like details of what they can eat. Naturally, I think a lot of Africans are very powerful, very athletic, but most of our food is carbohydrates. Like we eat yam, we eat rice, we eat fufu. So that is where it doesn't help the boys. And naturally, when the boys come home and they are tired, people want to give them fufu or whatever. You can't be doing that. So it's really important. And as a club, I think it's one of the things that we really focus on. Every summer we have a summer camp. We have an Easter camp, we have a Christmas camp where we focus on nutrition. We give health talks on nutrition. We work on their mindsets.
So put us in their context. So like your sons, what are they supposed to eat, and what do you just give me a few examples that they eat and they don't eat? Yes, was it 10 years, 12 years old?
Yeah. So yeah, the eldest is 14. He's at City under 14. The second one is under 14, under 12. Sorry. The third one is
in the 14 and the 12. Give me an example. What is it that you watch in the house? And because I'm surprised that someone who is 12 years, 14 years old. Actually, you can eat whatever you like. Eating ice cream, whatever you want to do. You're a kid.
Yeah. To be fair, sometimes we allow them to be kids and allow them to eat whatever they want to eat, but not most of the time. So like before training, you can't be eating burger and all that. It's not allowed. So in the morning, they'll have their normal breakfast where it's like they have some eggs. They're allowed to have protein,
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of what they eat, we are very careful. It depends on your training schedule and all that. Once they come back from training, you can't just eat anything and then sleep.
So
It
can you
has
come
to
and
be.
eat like banku and come and sleep after
No,
training?
no, no.
Why
Because,
not?
like I said, no, because it needs to digest. In terms of they do a lot of running. They have to eat. They eat a lot of protein. They eat a lot of. You can eat a lot of carbohydrates and all that, but it depends on the timing. Because they are kids, or because they are burning a lot of energy. So it's fine. It's fine for them to. They eat sweets. Sometimes they need it. They need a lot of sugar in their body, but they can't just eat anything. So like I'm saying, in terms of their breakfast, everything is structured. They have nutritional milk or whatever. You have to give them all that. It's really important that what they eat, you
I
monitor.
see. So I mean, so your kids, how did they make the transition from is it your club or academy, or how did they make the transition from there to Man City? Is it that what do you do? Is it the Man City come around and they say, look, I like this guy, or you tell them, look, I've got a guy, take him, or how does it work? How do you make that transition?
Yeah. So to be honest, when we started, I didn't know how big this is. I didn't know how big it was going to be. So when we started, it was more of, we just want to enjoy it. When it started growing, like I said, we didn't even have any money at all to start it. Then eventually, that was, like I said, because we had a prayer times with Bishop at the time. We put a lot of prayer into it, and then once we started properly, once we were able to hire a place and all that, we started properly. No one knew about us. Then eventually the clubs heard about us, so they started coming around. So I think, to be fair, the first club that came around was Liverpool. So I remember when Liverpool came and gave us some of their kits, their old kits and whatever. We were very excited, at the time. So word went around, and I think the growth was very exponential. And the fascinating thing about this whole thing, and the interesting thing, is the fact that we never advertised. It was word of the mouth, it's friends, family from church. So it was like a family, somebody would tell somebody, someone would tell a friend would tell a friend. So it was exponential. So between the time we started, I think we started properly, I would say August, September, we had our first Astro pitch training in October. By December, we had 60 kids. So people took notice of it. Once we enrolled them, we had to register as a charity, we had to register our club, we had to pay for our club to be affiliated to the FA. Once we started playing the league, people started taking notice. So City came, United came, then all the other clubs came. So as we are speaking now, I think we are the only club who has coaches attached from all the clubs. So City have given us coaches to work with us, apart from our
Really?
own coaches. Yes. Liverpool have given us coaches. City have given us coaches. United have given us coaches. Blackburn have given us coaches. Burnley are about to give us coaches. So we are the only club that tells you about the success. Yeah.
Your club sounds like the UN of soccer. I mean,
Yeah.
so how does it work? City has given you a coach. Burnley has given you a coach. United has given you a coach. Why would they give you a coach? Is
Okay.
it that
So,
they
that's what I said earlier on. In England or in the UK, football, in Europe, football is big business. So it's not for free, because for them, they want to get close to what you are doing.
all
Their
right?
their coaches are also scouting as well, and everyone wants to
Oh,
have.
so they are monitoring the players as well.
Exactly, yeah. Because so initially, like last year, City had 8 of the boys, because our technical director, which is now here, he works for Man City, he's operations manager for Man City Academy.
Yeah.
Because he's there. Normally, he picks the boys very early. So we are the only club. I can say we are the only club. Like George's son is he's less than 2, and he's there already. He's playing around the area. So by the time he's 3 or 4, he's so much into it. And there are some indicators they're looking for. Every club has a way, the way they want to profile a player. Some of the clubs are looking for very technical boys. Some of them are looking for fast-paced players. They are looking for powerful and athletic boys. As a club, because most of our players are coming from BAME backgrounds, Most of them are from African backgrounds, or most of them are black. About 80% of our players are black players. Because they're coming from that background, they are very powerful and very athletic. But when they start, they are not very technical. A lot of the white boys are very technical, but they are not as powerful and as fast as our boys.
Why
And
are
modern,
they technical? Why are they technical and our boys are not?
no, I think it's natural. I'm not, eventually our boys
Oh,
become,
okay.
I think eventually our boys become very technical. Like, I'm trying to explain that
Okay.
for a natural or a raw, talented black boy or an
Yeah.
African boy, he's very powerful, he's very quick. You have to teach them. Football is taught. A lot of people, I always say talent is not enough. You may have the talent, but you need to work on it. So our boys, when we picked them at 3, 4. So my third one started when he was only 4 years. We have one of the best boys at City under 9. He started with us at 3 years. Now he's one of the best players in the under 19. So when we start them like that, we allow them to explore. We allow them to enjoy it. They are powerful. They are athletic. They are everything. And then eventually we start adding the 10K bit to it. The 10K bit you can teach. Yeah.
All
So
right.
by the time they are 8, our boys are the best because one, the attributes they have, you can't teach. The power, the pace, you can't teach. You can teach the 10K bit.
Okay.
The other boys have got the 10K bit. They haven't got the power and the pace. You can fix your run, but you can't teach somebody to be fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's working in our favor. And now modern football, you need powerful boys. You need powerful players that can run. If you can't run, then you don't have a chance. So that's what's making us thrive. And in terms of our environment,
Is there
because
a
of our,
minimum speed? Is there a
yeah.
minimum speed for a player? Let's say before you can play for City as a young boy, before they sign you up, is there a minimum speed you're looking for?
So these academies are very smart. When the boys come and they start playing, at the end of a session, normally they will ask them to run. Let's run. So the kids may think that they are just running for the sake of it, but
Yeah.
they want to check who is quick, who's not. Because don't forget that when they start at under 6, under 7, they play
Yeah.
5v5, 6v6. So it's very difficult to spot those that are faster. It's very
Okay.
difficult to separate them because when they start, they play on smaller pitches. As they
Yeah.
go, they move into 7v7. It becomes difficult, Then 9v9, that means you need to run more. Then when you get to 11v11, if you can't run, then you're in trouble. So that's how come a lot of boys don't make it. So in Ghana, we say, oh, he's a very good player because he can dribble, but he doesn't understand it. All that he's doing is dribbling. But what about the power? What about the pace? Is he a box-to-box player? All that comes into play. So when these clubs come around, like I said, everyone has a profile, how they profile the players. They have their own principles. So City are looking for boys that can pass, that can play in tight spaces. United are looking for dribblers, people that can keep the ball. Burnley are looking for powerful players that can run. They will add the 10K bit to it as well. Liverpool are looking for fighters, people, players that can fight for the ball, players that can run. So every club has their own principles and values. When they come to us, they spend time with the kids. So at the start, before you get to the foundation phase, at the pre-academy, once they select you, can go to any academy that's interested in you. But once you sign, you have to stay with one club. And they sign the year they turn 9 years.
So has anybody from Ghana, let's say I have a kid here in Ghana, can he come join your academy, play with the hope that he can be signed? Is it possible?
Currently, so we've started a similar program in Ghana. I mean, Coaching Sports Club. Yeah. Currently, we have about 16 boys that we are looking after. Everything is paid for, in terms of their food, everything, the education. The plan is to bring some of them here at some point. A few children have joined us from Ghana, for our summer camp programs. So that's on short-term basis.
Yeah,
Where they are
I remember you organizing some summer camps where some kids come there for training and all those things.
Yeah. So we
Tell
do
me a
that.
little bit about that one.
Sorry, say it again.
So tell me a little bit about the summer camp.
Okay, yeah. So I'll answer your first question, and then that will lead me into this one. So in terms of currently, we haven't gone our own facilities yet. We're able to host children from every part of the world for a short period. So like last year, this year, we are going to have kids from America. We have kids from Mozambique. We have kids from Ghana coming as well. So for on short-term basis, we are able to host them. We put them in hostels or hotels or whatever for a short term. Yeah. But long term, we don't have our own facilities yet, but we are working towards that. Once we have that, then we'll look out, we start thinking about bringing kids from, giving them opportunities in terms of what we want to do. In terms of our summer camps, I think 4 years ago, we started summer camps here. So we have Easter camp, summer camp, Christmas camp. And then 3 years ago, we decided to invite a few kids from Ghana. Yeah, so it's been a great success. This year, there are a few children coming from Ghana, from a few schools, Harvest, Nest, from Kakra. And then we have a New Nation from Accra as well. So I think a few kids are coming as well. And then we have some of the kids coming from America as well.
I see. So the boys, that's the young guys. At what age can they sign a contract?
At 8 years, the year they turn 9 years, that's when they sign their first contract.
So
when you sign,
you are paid or what? Are you paid when you are 8 years old?
No. So you are not paid. So
when do you get paid? Where is the cash? At what age do you actually start getting the cash?
So you can sign a professional contract when you are 16.
Yeah. 16 years old.
Yeah, but I think they start paying it at 17. So I mean, some of them are paid as much as £5,000 a week. Some of them are paid as much as £3,000 a week, depending on which one.
At 16 years old.
Yeah, but I think they receive the money when they turn 17. Yeah, that is why it's very, very difficult to become a professional footballer, because it's very capital intensive. You put a lot of money
in
effort into it.
You can be making like £20,000 a month at 16.
Yeah.
Coach, the day that your signs up, please call me. I have to count for my cash.
Yeah. Pray for our prophets. I mean, that's the vision. The vision is that maybe by the grace of God, all four of them will sign one day. My last one is playing, but like I said, mentally it's very draining. He's just enjoying it. He's not at any professional academy. A few of them have invited him, but I've said no because I don't think he's ready. And I think it's one of the things that as parents, I think a lot of African parents put a lot of pressure on their children because of the money, whereas, a lot of the white families, you do it for fun. And then eventually, once you have the potential, they'll encourage you and push you to do it. But a lot of Africans are not able to make it because I think from the start, we put too much pressure on them.
Right. I'm sure some people want to ask questions. So I want them to post their questions, YouTube, Facebook. Just post your questions and Priscilla will read the questions out. I'm sure people want to ask you a few questions. So if you are watching, you have a question, that post your question. Do you have any questions? So, Coach, I just talked about a question. Yes. Do you have any questions so far?
Yes, I do. You can wrap up your last question and then I'll come in.
All right. So, your club academy.
Yeah.
So do they come into contact with like Pep Guardiola and all those people? Do they sometimes come there to look at what the boys are doing? Are there instances like that? Or they have to get to a certain level before they will see top coaches?
So to be fair to these clubs, they give us a lot of opportunities because of our relationship with them, because of what we are producing for them. Yeah. So every time Man City wins the cup, the Premier League trophy or whatever, they give us an opportunity to go there. They invite our club to go there for a city experience, where they get opportunity to come around top coaches. The boys, I don't know whether yesterday I posted a few pictures on my status. Our under-9s who are currently at Man City, they had opportunity to meet Donnarumma. They had opportunity to meet Antoine Semenyo. So sometimes the boys get opportunity to meet these people.
I see.
Yeah.
So under what circumstances did they meet Donnarumma and Semenyo?
That to be fair, that opportunity is normally given to the boys that have signed for the professional academy. So like Man United.
Okay, so when you sign, then you can meet them.
Yeah, they give you the opportunity to meet. So like Man United sometimes give the boys opportunity to meet Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Menu, and all. It's very difficult for the boys that are in development to meet these people. But the clubs gives us an opportunity to go into that environment where they bring their coaches, their academic coaches, to be around them and to experience the place. Yeah, but they only give opportunities to the boys that have signed for professional academies.
I see. All right. Chris, any questions for us?
Yes, yes, yes. Coach, thank you so much. Very insightful conversation. One thing I like that you said is that the African parents, when we hear the football, we're only thinking of the pounds and the dollars. But from what you have described, is years of training,
Yes.
diligence. I mean, it's not as meets the eye. So I think we have to remove the dollars from our eyes. So someone is asking this question, and I want to read it. It says, do you train only kids? So at what age is it too late to pursue a football career? I think that's what he's trying to find out.
So for us in terms of our resources, like I said, yes, we've only been in existence for 5 years. So considering the fact that we've, like I'm saying, the vision is to go bigger and have our own club and probably have a club playing in a conference, League One, League Two, Championship, or even go all the way to Premier League. But currently, we start from 4 up to 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So currently we have
beyond that age.
Yeah, we can still help them. Don't forget that we have. So I'll give you a bit of background about our club. So our club, we have. So George Jr. is our communication director. George works with the BBC. He used to work for
Joy FM.
Joy FM, yes. So George, we have like MediaGate, which deals with all the PR and all that. So for us, we try as much as possible not to expose our boys very early. So all their content, we have it, but it's a lot of them are not public. Then we have Edward Ntribechi, who is our mindset trainer. I can confidently say we are the only non-traditional academy or grassroots team in the UK who has a mindset trainer. We have somebody that deals with their mindset and everything. Yeah. So we have that. Then we have Sweet Bite, which deals with all the nutrition side, the food side and all that. That's also one aspect. And then we have other people. So we have other departments. We have coaches that deal with help the kids in terms of what giving them extra sessions and all that. So we're able to help boys or footballers that are above 16. But in terms of the real teams, because we play in leagues, we play in a league called we have a few leagues, East Manchester League, we have Manchester Youth Super League. In terms of the leagues, we have teams from in the UK. You can only play structured football from 6 years. So we have teams from 6 years to under 16. That's where we end at the moment. Yeah, but that's not to say that in future we'll not be open to other opportunities.
Okay. There are quite a number of questions, adults asking if they can come and chop some of the cash, but I think you've explained. All right, this one says, how do you use the summer camp to identify the talents? What's the purpose of the summer camp? Sorry. Is it to identify the great future players among the kids?
No. So in terms of a summer camp, so we have our sessions every Wednesday and every Friday. Yeah, that's where we spot talents. Yeah. I don't want to disclose a lot of information here, but we are in talks with a company. So they use scientific data in terms of how to even scout and profile players. So very soon we'll announce it. Yeah. So that's also another way of profiling players. We use data. So they are creating an app that will be called Hene app, where you can do it. It's a DIY. You can do it at home. You put cones there. It will calculate your speed and everything. So as a club, what we do, because we have raw, powerful, and athletic players, what we do is that when they start, we allow them to play. Our sessions are not very structured. Once they start developing, that's when we add a technical bit to it. So we have a way of spotting the talent. The summer camp for us as a club, I think we have 2 groups. So one, Manchester City Council and the Department for Education, they sponsor us, in terms of they want to help kids from underprivileged background. So they support us. during our summer camp, we want the children to be children. We want them to be kids. Like I'm saying, my children, they have a sleep pattern because of what they do and all that. During the summer, that's when they have a break. So we visit the Nosy Safari Park. Sometimes we have safari park trips. We go to the museums. We have different activities, basketball, athletics. We have mindset training. So the summer camp is just for them to relax and enjoy themselves and be children. Yeah. For those that travel from Ghana and other places, it also gives them opportunity, because normally what we do is that we add them to our players, our teams, and then we give them opportunities to play against the second tier or the development teams for City, United, Liverpool, and all that. That gives us a rough idea, because you can be in Ghana and think you're a very good footballer, but when you come here, like our team in Ghana, they are very, very good, and it's being managed by my little brother, So some of the boys, he's profiled them and he's saying they are very good. But one thing that I always say to him is that when we bring them here, are they going to be at a similar level? Because football is universal. I think sometimes people, like I'm saying in Ghana, it's more of the boy that can dribble everyone. Here, it's not like that. It's about you're off the ball, what you do off the ball when you don't have the ball. Possession, off the ball possession. What do you do? Are you fast? Are you all that? So we profile all that, So for those, to answer your question, for those that come from outside the UK, is an opportunity for us to watch and then give feedback. For those in the UK, the summer camp is not about that. It's about having fun, being children. Yeah.
Okay. So following up on that, someone is asking how they can register for the summer camp for their children to be part.
You can go to our website. If you go to our website or social media, if you type in Coach Hene Sports Club, you can send us a message. There's a link there. You can register. If you send an email to our admin@coachhene.com, yes, we'll come back to you. We'll send you the link and all that. I think in terms of this summer, it's too late, because unless somebody has a visa, it's a bit late, because currently they've been issued the visas. We bought the ticket. It's 2 shots. A notice for somebody to join. But yeah, if somebody has a visa, then it's easy enough. We can deal with that. If you don't have a visa, then it's a whole process. But for next year, we started already.
Wow. Okay. So lots of comments here for you, Coach. People saying, well done. Someone says you look like your dad. Gordon says, great concept. Proud of you, Coach. You have plenty fans in the comments.
Thank you.
The adults are still pushing. If someone is 25 years and above and a very good player by all standard, on hearing you, does he stand a chance? They are not giving up, Coach.
Okay, so
professionally, how are you willing to help those?
So to be honest, so I don't know whether you've seen it, but Ghana Football Association have announced a collaboration with us. So now we are even going to start profiling kids from 11. Yeah, but for me, 25, I don't want to discourage them, but it's not something that we're looking at the moment. 25. I hope they are real 25 in Ghana.
Nana Kojo, please look for something else, because it looks like it may not work.
But 25 years old. So at 25, are you too old or something? Nobody will sign you. I mean, generally speaking.
No, but
barring the miracle.
So one of the things that you need to appreciate is that, like, you see, like my children, I'm saying my third one started when he was only 4, right?
Yeah.
So by the time he gets to 16, he's traveled, his mindset is different, what he's disciplined. In Ghana, we don't play structured football until they are 15 or whatever. The cold football is gone. In the past, when I was young, growing up in Ghana, there was a lot of cold football. We used to play the inter-schools and all that. So by the time they get to 15, here, you're doing catch-up. It's a lot. We have the talent in Ghana. Yeah, I 100% agree that we have the talent, but there's no structure to it, and I think that's what my brother Kurt and the FA are trying to change.
My question is: so how do players like, let's say, Muntari and all these Ghanaian players who are not in any academies, how did they make it? Or they were not that old?
So that's what I'm saying. So Muntari, by the way, was at Liberty Professionals. Yeah, so he had a bit of structure. Muntari was selected by my dad when he was at OKS. So he came through the schools program. That used to be very, very, very strong when we were growing up. So we had something going on. That's why Ghana football used to be strong. I don't think it's there at the moment. I mean, ask yourself, how come a big club like Kotoko and House of Folk haven't got an academy. They haven't got an academy. They all want to start from 17 years. How come how can they not start from under 6, under 7, under 8? So the question is, if we are to go with the model here, Ghana will have more quality than England.
Yeah, I
So
get
yes,
you.
you have the odd one that comes through grace, you know.
Yeah,
Whatever, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's great here. But here, I mean, I don't think they believe in God the way we believe in God, but they have a plan, they have a structure, you know. And
Yeah,
for me, the Bible says that false balance is an abomination. You know, there has to be a
yeah,
balance. You know. Our
yeah.
club, we have a prayer team, so prayer is really important. We don't play on Sundays because we focus on a lot on church. So
Okay.
in terms of our teams, a lot of teams can play on Sundays, but we have made a point that most of our children go to
Don't play
church.
on Sundays.
Yeah, so we don't play on Sundays. Those in academies play on Sundays, but for us
So
as a club,
let me
we
ask
don't
you a
play.
question before the next question comes. I have a son. He's 6 years old. He's good at soccer. I'm hearing you today. He's not in an academy, but he's good. What do I do? What advice will you give me if I want him to play?
So the boy or girl, now girls football is also, you know, dominant here. We've started girl. The boy
Yeah.
or girl, it needs to have contact with the ball at least 6 hours, 7 days. He needs to play. He needs to play. That's one. The second thing is that at some point, you know, you cannot force on him. The boy needs to want it. It needs to come from within. You can encourage it, you can pay money, you can do whatever. They need to have it. They need to have a desire for it. They need to want it. It's a natural thing. It needs to be within, from within. You know, I realize that, you know, a lot of people, a lot of parents are encouraging their children to play football. They are literally forcing them, compelling them to play. But it needs to be from within. Like I'm saying, you know, before I started the program, my son was ready with his bag. Mommy, let's go. You gotta go. You know, so it needs to come from within. In terms of structure, the parents need to help. They need to help by taking them for training. I think the problem you have is that, for me personally, one of the things that I realize is that there's nothing that you cannot do with determination. You know, and with God, nothing is impossible. You know, but you have to put in efforts. You have to be consistent in what you're doing, and that's something that we don't do. You know, we focus so much on ourselves. The typical African parent wants to go for his cleaning, his security. In his mind, he's thinking, "Oh, if I don't make money, how are they going to survive?" Yeah, but a child has his own destiny as well, and I feel we have a duty of care to support them to achieve that. So they need to play. You need to give them an environment where they can thrive. And coaching is a very typical environment where they come and they enjoy themselves. There's no pressure on them. You know, uh, they have the right coaches. We have a mindset trainer. There's discipline. You know, at our club, you can't use it. You can't swear. You can't. There are certain things you can't do. You know, you have to be disciplined. You know, in terms of the way you relate. We are like a family. You know, everything's like family. So if you are 6 years and you want to play football, my answer would be they need to be consistent. They need to have contact with the ball. They need to enjoy it. If they are not enjoying it, then they're not going to make it.
I see. Wow. Okay. So Edward on Facebook is asking, Coach, being a Christian, I want to know more on how God has been using you to impact the kids with the gospel of Christ aside the cash.
So, so by the grace of God, Coach Hene is an evangelistic tool of our church. Yeah. Through the club, we've invited and won a lot of souls. You know, I'm a shepherd. Like I said, I'm also from Lighthouse UD. Yeah. So I'm a shepherd. So we use the club. It's really important. We know we have people from different faiths. So it's all inclusive. You know, we don't discourage anyone. We welcome everyone. But we use the club as a tool. For me, whatever we do at coaching is mind blowing. You know, we couldn't have done without Christ. You know, so we have a whole prayer team. So it's not natural. You know what we're doing. We are consistent in terms of our prayer times. You know, typically my day will start around 4, 4:30. You know, we have our prayer time. Then we do our quiet time. You know, the devotional side of it. You know, the team. We have a prayer team. There's so many things that we do. So it's not just football. Like I said, the God factor is really important. Without God, we won't be where we are now.
So the players in your club, do they pray? Or you can't tell them to pray since everybody's not a Christian?
You can encourage them, like I said, don't forget that because we are like a family, like coaching is the only club. I'll give you an example. So most of the other clubs, when it's time for them to sign for a professional academy, the parents decide. But at our club, most of the decision come from us because the people believe in us. They are people, it's easy to speak to them because don't forget that in this day and age, it's very difficult to share your faith with other people because of,
Yeah.
different reasons here. But because we're a family, we don't run our club like the other club. We run in a very professional way, but at the same time, we're able to relate well. So it's easy enough to encourage a little one. So one of the things that we've done as well, the boys that have come through that haven't been able to make it, they even come back as referees, as coaches. When we have the camps, my wife works with some of them in terms of the nutrition. Some of the girls support, and then we pay them. So it's like a whole family. It's a whole culture here.
Okay. I've got a couple of questions on Facebook. Let me go through them. What advice would you give someone trying to build a platform focused on building confidence, leadership, and unlocking potential in underserved communities, especially, so Black, Asian, minority ethnic communities in the UK?
Okay, so yeah, you have to create the environment for them, in terms of how they operate. Growing up in Africa, our culture is different. What adults say, it's final. You have to give the kids an opportunity to express themselves. In terms of the not imposing on them. Normally, like growing up, I remember my father said one thing. He said, "Whoever becomes a doctor, he will give you anything that you want." Yeah. So you have to allow them to become what God wants them to become, in terms of thriving to become that. So like I said, because we know mindset, everything starts with the mind. We have a mindset trainer. That means you have to encourage them that they can become whatever they want to become. It doesn't matter their color, it doesn't matter their background. You may have come from a poor background, but that environment you need to create, and that's what we created at our club. You have to create that environment, the platform, the environment, how they dress, how they carry themselves is really important. So for kids from those backgrounds, the mindset is everything. You have to change that mindset because a lot of people have a poverty mindset, and I always say poverty is not the money in your pocket, it's how you think, how you relate, Come to think of it, we've come from Ghana, started something here, and by the grace of God, we are one of the biggest in the country. We are the fastest growing grassroots team in the country.
Wow.
So it means it's possible. You have to give them that mindset. And, it's been quite a journey. It's been difficult, but we're getting there. How to even change the mindset of your team to say that we can do it. We can believe in ourselves. If Man City are signing 20 boys and 8 of them are coming from us, that tells you something. Man City are one of the best academies in the world. United signed 14 out of 14, 4 are coming from us. That's something. So the percentages, it tells you a lot.
Okay. Wow. Darlene is asking, how do the children balance the playing with the academics, or is the academy a school as well?
So for us, we focus a lot on education. So for our academy in Ghana, we are looking after them as well. We put them in schools and all that. Yeah. For those in the UK that eventually make it to the academies, the top boys are placed in private schools. The academies pay for them to go for to have private education. But for me as a parent, like I said, the focus on education is really, really important. So my children are about to write their exam. They have a revision week. They have a pattern in terms of what they do. It's really important because you have to balance it. You can't put all the eggs in one basket. What if they don't make it in football? Even if they make it in football, they're going to sign contracts. How do they manage their money and all that? So it's really important to have a balance. That's why I said the false balance and abomination. You need to make sure that you have a balance in terms of their education, their nutrition, their discipline. Because you can have all the money in the world. If you don't have education, you don't have discipline, you lose everything. So as a club, we focus a lot on education as well. And hence the reason why we are looking after 16 kids, for free in Ghana.
That's a lot. I think we just have about one more question or two, and we'll be rounding up.
Okay. How can you manage the kids from different countries with different languages?
Different languages in the language they speak. So for us, English is the universal language. When they come to coaching, we want to sing one song. We want the spirit of oneness. So English is the universal language. So far, we haven't had we haven't had that challenge yet. Some of my coaches are from Iran. We have a few French coaches as well. So we have different people from different, but the universal language at our club is English.
Okay. And then let me just take this last one. Let me just take this last one from YouTube. What do you think are the biggest mistakes parents make when raising young footballers?
Pressure. You put them under pressure. You have to make it at all costs. It doesn't help because everyone is on a journey, has a different journey. Some of them, they will peak at 15 or 16. Some of them will be the top boys at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for me, you don't have to put on the pressure. You want to help them, help them to become what they want to become. They need you when they're going through challenges. Some of them go through growth spurts, so when through injuries, mentally, they need a lot of support. So the mistakes, I think, especially people from our background, the mistake we make is we put them on a lot of pressure because of, the financial gains. It's like we're always thinking ahead. We go ahead of ourselves, So take it one step at a time. Enjoy it. You the parent, enjoy it. I always say that for me, I know my boys are going to make it. If they don't make it, we've enjoyed. We've had fun. Life is not all about playing football. I didn't play football, by the grace of God, I'm doing well in life. So yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So, Prophet, you can.
Coach, I think that's been very insightful. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's been a wonderful time listening to you. And like you said, can you please mention your contact again in case somebody wants to contact you?
So I'll give. Sorry.
Pin your Facebook page in the comments.
Yes,
your Facebook page, but maybe the website. Some people were asking.
So yeah, our website. If you go to our Facebook page, is there. If you want to call, if you want to send an email, admin@coaching.com. I'm a bit hesitant because yesterday the FA posted the flyer and I had about 2 million calls. We had about 2 million calls. So yeah, it was mind blowing. So that's why I'm a bit hesitant. That's why I don't want to post. So for me,
you are the one who told us that 66,000 people equals one player. So
yeah,
if we have 10, then you can imagine. We have to receive about 6 million calls.
We want to deal with them through our social media. It's easier to deal with them. So our website, or if you go to Instagram, Instagram, Joy's on it. Facebook, admin will pick it up, and trust me, we'll come back to you. We try as much as possible to come back to people within 48 hours. I just don't want to put any number out because it will blow up.
Your phone will be ringing.
My sister is on here. She's watching. She says she's going to be calling and emailing you.
Yeah, you have my number, so you can give it to your sister. I can deal with. I think yesterday the Ghana FA president posted the flyer on his page, and we are doing a parent engagement program in the UK. So it's for UK kids, and I had like about 200 calls from Ghana. It was unbelievable.
So what are you doing with the FA here in Ghana?
So yeah, so we're doing a talent ID hunt for them. Currently we're looking at between 15 to 20 years, but we're also looking at 11 from 11. We want to start early because if you look at somebody like Ibrahim Diaz, he plays for Morocco. He could have played for Spain, but because they got them in early, Morocco have a very good team because so that's what we want to do. I think the FA they have plans to do it in other countries, but in terms of the UK, we are the official partner and we are helping them.
Coach, remember I told you if your children make it, come and meet them play for Ghana. Don't let them play for England. I told you.
you know what? It really that got me thinking, Prophet. Because honestly, before I had that conversation with you, I had no plans. You know, I didn't really want them to play for Ghana. But yeah, since that conversation, I think they want to play for Ghana as well. So yeah,
That's excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a very wonderful chat this morning. I've enjoyed it myself. I've learned so much. And like you said, people want to contact you, your Facebook page, Coach Hene Sports Academy, right?
Coach Hene Sports
Sports
Club.
Club.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach Hene Sports
Our
Club.
Instagram
Yeah.
as well. Our Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, Twitter. We are on. I think we are on TikTok as well. So
Okay. Facebook as well.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if you want to contact Coach, that's how you can reach out to him. Coach, I also know you to be a very good Christian. God bless you. Talking about prayer, being a shepherd, praying at flow, all those things. Very wonderful. God bless you. And next time I come, we'll go to watch the next match. The other
Yeah.
day, you gave me a treat. You put me in a hotel. We went for breakfast. We went for all the academy matches. We went for the big match in the night, Chelsea City. Then after, we had a dinner, and it was wonderful. Thank you so much. And you've asked when I'm coming again. Don't worry, Coach. After that wonderful experience, I have to repeat it.
Yeah. Robert, thank you for the opportunity. It's been a privilege. Yeah, growing up, you know, I used to listen to you. I always wanted to get close. You're a very wise man. You are anointed. You know, I thank God for your life and keep being a blessing to the kingdom.
God bless you, Coach. So thank you for joining us. Are we having a Zoom today, Priscilla?
No.
Okay, so thank you for joining us. And next Saturday, we'll be back with our regular Bible study. Coach, God bless you. Priscilla, thank you for joining us. Everybody else, God bless you. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
For continuous access to life-transforming audio teachings by Kakra Baden, subscribe to Kakra Baden today on Patreon. Grow consistently and stay rooted in the Word. Join now at www.patreon.com/Kakra Baden. Have you ever opened your Bible and struggled to understand what it really means? Have many parts felt out of reach? Which things have indeed a shew of wisdom in will worship? Colossians 2:23. What does that even mean? And how does it apply to my everyday life? For over 30 years, Kakra Baden has walked with God, uncovering truths that make the Bible come alive. Now, in his signature, easy-to-understand style, he brings you a verse-by-verse commentary on Colossians. Simple, practical, and anointed. In this book, Colossians Explained, you will discover that the Bible was written for everyday people, fishermen, carpenters, and seekers. This commentary unlocks timeless wisdom, transforming faith into daily living. So, if you've ever struggled to understand your Bible, now you can. Get your copy today. You can order your copy of Colossians Explained through the following means. Post or type the word Colossians in the comments section or send us a DM. Order via WhatsApp on +233 55 700 9010. That's +233 55 700 9010. Call or text us on +233 24 921 7272. That's +233 24 921 7272. You can also order via our website at www.kakrabaden.org or send us an email on info@kakrabaden.org to get yours today. Colossians Explained. Simple, practical, and anointed. Get yours today.